Hello again, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Focus Vandalia. My name is Rich Hopkins. I'm the communications manager for the city. And on today's program, we are focusing on everything happening here in Vandalia as we roll into the summer months. Now, right now, we're at the Vandalia Sports Complex, which is a fairly quiet and open place right now. On July the 3rd, this field will be packed with people ready in anticipation for a great fireworks show, our Star Spangled celebration. Here's what you need to know. If you'd like to get here to enjoy the music, to enjoy the food, to enjoy the camaraderie, your best bet is to get here early. Things start happening around 7 o'clock in the evening, and the fireworks show goes off at 10 p.m. sharp. It's a great family event that you can be a part of just by stopping out here. It's absolutely free. Now, the Star Spangled celebration is just one of many events taking place over the summer months. Another big event headed towards Vandalia will take place in mid-June. That's the Veteran Dayton Air Show. It's an annual rite of summer. On June 18th and 19th, the Veteran Dayton Air Show flies into Vandalia, bringing with it thousands of flight enthusiasts who want an up-close look at all the high-flying aerial acrobatics. If you're among those planning on taking in all the sights and sounds, Vandalia Police Lieutenant Dan Swafford has some advice for your commute in and out of town. Be patient.
If they take their time and realize that not 40,000 people can't get out of one parking lot in 10 minutes, it's going to take a little bit of time. And if they're patient, if they listen to what the directions that the police officers that are out there directing traffic give them, things will go a whole lot smoother. You know, it's always the hottest day of the year, the hottest 2 days of the year, and you know, if they just are patient, sit in their cars, cool off, and it goes a whole lot smoother.
Even though the air show is technically in the city of Dayton, all roads to and from must pass through Vandalia, where the Division of Police takes an all-hands-on-deck approach to traffic control.
We're going to have officers all the way up and down Dixie, all the way out to the highway and on Northwoods, directing traffic. So like I say, all you have to do is just listen to what they're going to tell you to do. We're going to keep things moving as much as we can and get everybody out as quickly as we can.
Swafford says the flow of traffic comes from a plan that's been tweaked from year to year, and he's confident the plan in place these days is the absolute best way to get 40,000 cars in and out.
We've been doing this for over 30 years now. We've done several different traffic patterns. The ones that we're using now have worked, and we continue to use the same patterns year after year after year. As long as it stays dry and we don't have to change all the patterns, everything will run as smoothly as possible.
Another summertime ritual for many families is the annual vacation, a time where you all pack up and head out for some well-deserved rest and relaxation. But what about the house you leave behind? It might surprise you to know that the Vandalia Division of Police has a unique program in place to make sure your home and its belongings are undisturbed while you're away.
We do vacation house checks. Our officers come out, we try to daily, walk around your house, check the windows, check the doors, check your shed, just make sure nothing's out of order. If there is, you know, we have emergency contacts we can call that you leave for us, but it's very simple. Come with the police department, fill out the form, or you can even just do it online. It's good peace of mind. You know, you have friends and neighbors that check on your house while you're on vacation, but also the police department can. That way you have multiple people and you won't be a victim of crime.
Crime Prevention Officer Doug Nagel says the Vacation House Check is just one of many programs in place designed to help you fight crime. Another major anti-crime event takes place on Thursday, August the 2nd.
The National Night Out is for the community to come out and fight back against crime, showing that we're all actively participating, we're all getting to know our neighbors, and we're going to watch out for one another so crime doesn't occur at your house or in your neighborhood.
Nagel is currently wrapping up planning for this year's event. He says he's trying to get a little something for everyone.
We have a lot of community resources, whether it be the fire department, the police department, the Vandalia Parks and Recs, the service center. Everybody chips in to help out. This is a big event. We have Crossroads Rehab and Nursing also sponsors. Again, they're going to do a cookout like they did last year with hamburgers, hot dogs, and some side items, as well as we're going to have the helmet giveaway. Working on a bicycle rodeo and even the possibility maybe a bike giveaway. We still have that in the works.
The primary goal of National Night Out is to bring neighborhoods together to fight against a common enemy, crime.
It's getting out and getting to know your city, your neighborhood, and your neighbors. You know, a lot of times with our busy schedules and work and kids and many sporting events that summer as well as the vacations, you may not get to know your neighbors. You may not see them a lot. This is that chance to have fun, relax, enjoy some food, and get to know your neighbors and get to know your community. That way we can all, get together to keep crime from happening in our city.
Another criminal activity getting some attention these days is the credit card skimmer. Montgomery County Auditor Carl Keith was in Vandalia recently to talk about these insidious devices.
It's a small technical electronic device that fits on the inside of the gas pump. And that's one of the things people will always ask us is, okay, how can I tell if there's a skimmer? Well, you can't. Just by looking at the pump, you can't tell. It fits on the inside of the gas pumps attached to the credit card reader. And what it does, it allows when someone uses their credit card and swipes their credit card, it records their credit card number, and thieves are able then to take those numbers and create bogus cards.
Keith says his office is doing its part to combat the skimmers by ramping up public education efforts and making his office available to talk to groups of any size about the dangers of the skimmer and what can be done to fight them.
The more we can do that, the more we can educate the public on this issue, I think the best. So yeah, you can contact our office, 225-6309.
The skimmers are a relatively recent phenomena, popping up in just the past few years.
We found the first skimmers in Ohio here in Montgomery County in 2013. We really hadn't had much to hear about them in Ohio after that. Then last October, there were some devices found over in Fayette County and Washington County, so we started doing some checks, and that's when we found one here in Vandalia.
While the Vandalia skimmer was quickly identified and removed, there have been more attempts to place these devices in the region over the past couple years.
Since that time, there's been more than a dozen skimmers found and gas pumps basically along this I-75 corridor. We haven't found any more in Montgomery County, but Butler County just had 2 found last week over the course of a 3-day period. So they're really hitting this area hard.
Auditor Keith says complicating matters is the fact that there are 2 different ways you can pay at the pump. You can use a credit card or a debit card.
We tell people, you can use your credit card, but do not use your debit card. If you use your credit card, it gives you some degree of protection. If you use your debit card and you insert your PIN number, now if you're skimmed, not only do they have your account number, but they have your PIN number, and they can easily access your bank account and wipe you out in a matter of minutes.
The auditor says this is an issue we'll continue to see from time to time, and that our best defense against them is to be observant and vigilant.
And I think paying attention, being vigilant, if you see anything that doesn't look quite right, or you see someone messing around with one of the gas pumps when you're there, report it. Let the station owner know. Contact our office. Again, our number is 225-6309. Call local law enforcement. Just pay attention to what's going on out there.
Our next stop today is at the Vandalia Senior Citizen Center, where organizers are putting together a very busy summer schedule of activities. Coordinator Tony Williams says one of the most popular events thus far has been her summer speakers series.
Our Sinclair class, the poli-sci class, is over for this time of year. So I try to get a speaker every Monday at 1 o'clock. And I open this up to the public. And it's a different speaker every time. We already had speakers in May. It'll be June, July, and August. And 8 of the speakers that are coming during those months have never been to our center before. So that makes it a little more interesting. June 13th, Mike Williams, who's a historian and a teacher, will be talking about George Remus. He was America's very first bootlegger millionaire. And he was a lawyer that learned how to bend things around his way to make money. They think possibly he was the figure used for the Great Gatsby, but not proven. June 20th, Jim Charters will come and talk about Carillon Park, its past and its present and its future. And if you're here, you receive a ticket to get into Carillon Park for free, 1 per person. On June 27th, Mike Sprague, who's on vacation from the poli-sci class, he's actually coming back in, and he is going to talk about the political conventions and how they work. A very important topic for right now.
If you're more of a doer than a listener, you might be interested in a craft class being put together by local card artist Lori Reeves. It's scheduled for Friday, June 24th.
This one's going to be making cards for 4th of July, kids, butterflies, all the things having to do with summer. And all you need to do is sign up, bring scissors and a tape runner if you have one. It's limited to 18 people.
Another popular activity at the Senior Center has been the advent of the Mahjong group.
Our Mahjong group is really building. They've been learning for a couple months. We have some very experienced people and we have some people that are still figuring this out. And if you haven't even come before, you can still come and start learning. It's always on Fridays at 10 o'clock.
If Mahjong seems a little too complicated, Williams says the LCR games held at the center might just be up your alley.
We've been having an LCR game every month. This month it's on Wednesday, June 22nd at 12:30. All you have to be able to do is roll 3 dice. That's it. She brings the prizes. It's sponsored by Cottages of Clayton, and it's just a fun, very quick game.
One last note from the Senior Center. In July, a dedicated group of cornhole players are traveling to Trotwood in an attempt to stake their claim to destiny.
It is a cornhole tournament with Huber Heights and our Senior Center. This year it's going to be actually at Friendship Village. 14 cornhole players can sign up from our center and 14 are signing up from Huber Heights. 20 people can sign up as spectators. And in the past it's just been the 20 people could just watch the game. Well, this year they're offering lots of alternatives. They'll have cards, board games, pool room will be available. They also have hand massages, hand waxing, a craft class, ice cream sundaes that can be made. They're offering a continental breakfast when we get there between 9 and 9:30, and they're offering lunch. So a very full, very filled day is being offered.
For more information on the tournament or any of the activities at the Senior Center, you can check out the monthly newsletter online at vandaliaohio.org. You can also give them a call, 898-1232. For some of us, no discussion of summer is complete without talking about backyard swimming pools. City Planner Amber Holloway says now is the time her office starts getting calls about city requirements for the installation of a backyard pool or spa.
If you're considering to put a swimming pool in your backyard, swimming pool or hot tub, you will need a permit if that pool or hot tub can hold more than 24 inches of water. And it may surprise you to know that a lot of the storable pools that you can bring in and out each season will still need a permit.
Complicating matters is the issue of the backyard deck to go with the pool. Holloway says there are a couple of things to keep in mind when it comes to what you'll need for that project.
You're always going to need a zoning permit to put a deck, a patio, a fence, any of those items on your property. However, a deck in this circumstance would need building permits in a couple of circumstances. So those couple of circumstances would be if that deck is over 200 square feet, if it's going to be attached to the dwelling, and if it's going to be 30 inches or above the grade of the ground. Those would trigger that to have building permits, which means that you're going to need drawings.
Getting a permit is an easy process.
You would stop into the Development Services Department to get a permit. We would provide you with a plot plan of your property, and you would show us where you plan to lay the pool out, any walkways that you're going to have, and depending on whether or not that fence or that pool is above ground or in ground and whether or not you'll need an enclosure, we'll go through all those steps with you in our offices.
Holloway says if you're not sure what your project might require, it makes good sense to make her office one of your very first stops.
You should call us here in the Development Services Department. Hands down, it's the easiest way to get a quick answer as to whether or not you need a permit, and if you do, we'll walk you through the steps in getting one.
Our last stop today is here at Seeger Park, which during the summer months is home to the Vandalia Farmers Market. Now this year there are a few changes in store for the Farmers Market. The first being the hours of operation. This year the Farmers Market will start at 4 and it will end at 8. That's a little different than in years past. We're still going to have the same Touch a Truck feature, the same arts and crafts, and the same locally grown fresh produce for you to purchase and take home for your family. If you'd like more information on the Farmers Market, you can check out their website, vandaliafarmersmarket.com. That's going to do it for this edition of Focus Vandalia. I'm Rich Hopkins. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.